Hey everybody, this is Amy from Elysian Acre Soap. Hi! Let's make some rainbow soap today. But first, always, please wear your safety gear, goggles, gloves, long sleeves, every time, no matter what. So, this is my frozen goat milk. It's actually goat buttermilk that I made here at home. The reason I freeze it is so that when you add the lye and that chemical reaction heats up, it won't scorch your milk. But you can see I'm adding the lye just a teeny tiny bit at a time and going very slowly and stirring. This is what that milk lye mixture looks like after the lye is completely dissolved. But you can see it still looks a little bit chunky, and that's just little bits of the fat from the buttermilk floating around. So I'm going to go ahead and stick blend that lye mixture, which just helps to smooth it out. And since I know that I want my whole batter to have titanium dioxide in it for a whitening effect, this is where I add it. It's so much smoother and more consistent if you can add it to your lye mixture. But of course you need to know that you want it in throughout your whole soap. So for this particular design, instead of mixing my lye and oils all together in one batch, what I'm doing is essentially separating them out into 9 mini batches of soap. So this is the first layer. I'm using Smell the Rainbow from Nurture Soap. It smells like Skittles. It's perfect for a rainbow. So this is going to be my red layer, and I've just separated out a tiny little bit, like 1.5 ounces of oils, combined it with my lye. This is the Custom Craft Tools Cheshire Cat Angling Tool, which is what I use to make these beautiful angles. And Trial by Fire by Nurture Soap is my favorite red, so that's what we're using today. So, sorry in advance because right about now is where my camera cut off and you completely missed that first pour. But I promise it went in there. So, here's that red after I poured it. And then here we go into the next layer. So this is now about 20 minutes later when I'm pretty sure that that red layer has set up. For orange, I'm using Mad Mica's flotation device. Super bright orange. And again, same process. Adding my oils, adding my lye, adding my color, adding my fragrance. So we're just making another mini batch of soap. This one is slightly bigger though, since it's going to be a bigger layer. So you'll notice for a while that each layer is going to get a little bit bigger and then a little bit smaller again for this design. So I'm checking to make sure that my batter has reached emulsion, and you just have to wait sometimes. When you're dealing with teeny tiny bits of batter like this, you don't want to stick blend it just because the volume isn't there and it doesn't do a good job. So you just have to deal with a little hand blender and take your time. On this really angled pour, it can get a little bit tricky to get everything out of the cup. So just take your time. Just move slowly and wait. Have to wait another 15, 20, sometimes 30 minutes between these layers to make sure that they're nice and set up. So moving on to yellow. This is Mad Mica's Yellow Raincoat. And this one, because I have a little more volume of that batter, I can go ahead and stick blend it, which makes it move so much faster. And you can tell here that this video is sped up a lot, but you really want to be moving pretty slowly when you're pouring this in. And I'm about to show you why in just a second, because I rushed it. And right there, oh, you really have to move slow, and you have to let that batter seep down in there on its own time, because if you try to force it, you're just going to gush right out the top. So just take your time. So after another 20-30 minutes to let this yellow layer set up, it is time to go to green. This is Mad Mica's Radioactive. Adding fragrance, adding the lye, Waiting some more for it to set up. It takes time. Now I'm going to go ahead and adjust that angle again. Each time between every layer, I'm just changing that angle ever so slightly, another, I don't know, 5-6 degrees. And then here we go with green. And again, I'm speeding this up, but you can see that I got a little bit impatient right there. Again. Sorry guys, I'm not the world's cleanest soaper. Just do your best. But we're going to move on to the blue layer, and for the blue that I'm using is Nurture Soap's Electric Blue. And it's going to turn out a bit more pastel. If you remember that I put that titanium dioxide in the lye water, so every one of these colors is going to be a little bit more on the pastel side. And I have to apologize real fast because you'll see in 3, 2, 1, there it is. My camera just fell in my sink. Sorry. So, you missed that blue layer again, but here we go for purple. Nurture Soap's Fantasia is the purple I'm using. And again, now I'm moving down in volume for the top layers of the soap, so it's back to the little hand blender and blend, 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 and wait. And now we're going back around the rainbow to red. So if anybody's wondering why I mute these videos and then do a voiceover after, I'm going to let you hear what actually goes on inside my house while I'm usually soaping. These are my 3 absolutely angelic children. Oh. And that's why. That's what my house sounds like all the time. I'm so sorry for making you listen to that. But here we go with that Trial by Fire. And again, once you get up here and this angle is a little bit sketchy, just move slowly. As soon as I stopped recording, this one kind of gushed over the top. And then here we go again with that flotation device orange as my very last layer. This one, I felt like I had to blend it forever. It just was not wanting to come together, wasn't coming to emulsion. So I just blended for what felt like the rest of my life. There it is. And after this last layer, I went ahead and popped this guy into the oven that was preheated to 170 degrees and turned off. And I'm just going to let it hang out for a few hours, take it out, and we'll cut it later. So here we are after this soap hung out in the oven for a few hours. It went through gel phase. It is actually still warm to the touch, but it's time to take it out because this one is actually made with 95% coconut oil and 5% shea butter, which sets up lightning quick. So this particular formula you can unmold and cut within just an hour or 2, which is exactly what I did. So here we go. Ta-da! I love, love, love the way these turned out. The only regret I have is I wish that I had used a bit more yellow to make that yellow layer really pop, but otherwise I could not be happier. And there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And I hope you just have an amazing day.